But
And that's the extent of our NBA conversation for the day.
here's the extent to our NBA conversation. Uh, the cat trade was a terrible move, like we had predicted,
Four.
and now all of a sudden Anthony Edwards has to carry these Timberwolves through the rest of the regular season. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of On It. We're here. You got me, you got Devin, and we actually do have a little more NBA to talk about because the Jimmy Butler situation is getting nothing but uglier
Jimmy
as
Butter.
Jimmy Butler situation has gotten nothing but uglier as the time goes by. But we got Saturday's games to talk about. We got Sunday's wildcard games to predict. We got our final MVP prediction, or final MVP for the year. We
Yeah.
got some things to talk about, Devin.
Dude, you I don't want to say ruined, but you ruined a good thing for me. The
What?
the Gary Busey buttered sausage. I was so high. I
I
was so hyped on that video. I love that video so much. You're like, that's a AI fake. And I was like, I fucking hate everything, dude. I had no idea. It's so funny to see Gary Busey sit there and be like,
well, have you
yeah, like
seen?
buttered sausage. No,
Have you seen
I've
the
heard Gary say the craziest shit
well?
just for fun.
But have you seen the AI like recently? Of just like,
No, I'm afraid of that stuff, dude.
dude, the new
I'm so
AI, like they
scared.
made one of like Diddy and LeBron hanging out, and
What the-
or like Kendrick Lamar just like at a mustard party, just playing in mustard and going down a
Ew.
mustard slide. It's like, but it's getting scary how
Ugh.
like I'm not on that side of like, oh, they're gonna take over, but it's getting scary how real they're able to make things look.
Yeah, but
And
I
just
think all of this, like, oh, you can make stuff look real. Well, they can, like, make people say things, like, on
well,
the
no,
internet.
you can, yeah,
You,
but see, but you can make people say things. But I mean, AI's taking over jobs. It's taken over a
not
lot
for
of,
real.
of things, and a lot more than just making people say things. It's
But no,
having
like, what I was trying to say was that there's so much of this, like, bullshit, like, artistic bullshit, or making paintings, or making weird shit happen, or whatever, that, like, no, AI can, like, really fuck shit up and, like, do
but it can
crazy
also
shit.
help. I mean, it's also helpful.
Yeah, I know,
I
but
like it.
I think pretty
AI is
soon.
cool, bro. I don't mind AI, bro. AI
Nah,
is cool. I don't
but
mind
again,
it.
pretty soon it'll be like we'll all be living in Wally. We'll be
No, we
living up in
won't.
the,
Our grandkids maybe, but we're not living. We're
yeah,
not
it's
making
fair.
it there.
No,
We're not
at some
making it
point
there.
we're gonna be sitting there like big
We
fucking
don't. We're not.
space wizards.
But like, no, one day it's like there will be just AI generated people to sit here and talk about sports, and there will be like it'll probably like one day there will probably be an AI generated like analyst next to Stephen A. like debating
Ooh,
with him.
do you think an AI comedian would be funny
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like they're teaching these AIs like they're
to have
teaching
emotion
AI, yeah, emotion and shit. So if
and
they can
tone
learn like,
and things?
exactly how to hit a punchline or whatever, yeah,
Yeah,
no, a
yeah.
robot could do that. But let's talk about things that aren't AI related, and maybe the beginning of the wild card weekend because we are recording this on Saturday, post Saturday games for the wild card, so we do get to discuss, half review, half preview. I guess we start with Chargers in Houston,
Hmm.
which I mean,
Shame, 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 shame. I know your name.
so I had the Chargers going into
I
this
had the
game.
Chargers, but I mean, it wasn't like an overwhelming, like, holy shit, the Chargers are gonna destroy this team. For me, it was like we know that Houston is a struggle bus this year. They got to this point,
Mm.
but I figured that the dual threat being back in the run game for them would be for the Chargers would be pretty big,
Enough.
and then spreading the ball out a little bit, making good solid throws. Instead, it was a bomb fest for no reason. It was like the second that, like, I don't know, anything like went wrong in that game, they were like, yeah, let's fucking yuck it up.
All right. Here's the thing, though, and I'm curious because you texted me and said we need to talk about Justin Herbert. I feel like there's a lot to talk about when it comes to the Chargers, and it's not Justin Herbert.
What about that crossbody throw though?
Okay, one crossbody throw. What about the? I mean, I really wish I could go
The
back and count,
overthrow on his third pick.
but it's like okay, this whole season we have been sitting here watching his receivers, pretty much besides Lad, disappoint him
Yeah,
and let him down.
yeah.
There were crucial third down plays, just moments in general where it was I can't even remember all the names of people dropping or that were dropping passes for
Yeah.
LA, but it was just drop after drop. You know,
Do they have a guy named Grimes?
big, big third down. There's a drop. Oh, tight end wide open across the middle, and
Yeah,
it drop. There's a
yeah.
drop. It's like they they were they. I'm not gonna say dominant, but that first drive. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they came in, they looked hot. They got held to the field goal, and
Mm-hmm.
then boom, fumble on the first play for Houston.
Yep.
I'm thinking, shit, Chargers might go up 10-0.
Myrtle. Yep.
They put up another field goal, and then it kind of like Houston didn't look good. They
Not at
looked
all.
they looked better than I guess LA in terms of just LA was just saying
Well,
here
I
have the
mean,
game.
the defense looked good. It was more so like now they I think they were able to take advantage of bad throws, obviously, but there were some crucial third downs. There were some crucial plays in there where they were getting a hand in there. Um, just
There were also some Justin Herbert threw me the ball, like I should catch it. I know I'm gonna tip that bitch up and let Houston
no,
just pick it up. I mean,
for real.
it's just I this is there's a reason why I said they need an off season. I
Yeah.
think LA and I was saying, Jim Harbaugh and Herbert, it's like give them an off season to
Well,
really cook together. And
yeah. I mean,
they
if we look
have
at expectations for this season, we didn't have any. Like, I
no
think we knew that Justin was going to do his thing. I mean, the guy threw 3 picks all fucking year, and then threw 4 today. But we knew he would do well, especially the addition of Gus and um, the other guy. I can't remember his name.
JK
J.K. Um, and yeah, it's just I mean, even Lad is good. We didn't.
balling, but that's it. When
That's
it
it.
comes to who Justin Herbert can throw the ball to and rely on, it's a rookie receiver,
The
and that's it.
white rookie receiver.
And not to discredit him, but it is a rookie receiver.
It's a rookie
If the
receiver. Yeah.
only person you can rely on is your rookie
Yeah.
receiver, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And I think this offseason, they need to target everyone. They need to get on the phone with Miami to see what's going on with the trade for Tyreek. They need to see how
Yep.
much T. Higgins is looking at. How
Yep.
much does T. Higgins want to get paid? They need to see if Amari wants to stay in Buffalo. They need to see if anybody in Kansas City wants to stay in Kansas City. If D Hop wants to stay in Kansas City, they need to check
Yeah.
where Devontae. What are you doing? What
Yeah.
what are we doing with Devontae? Where are you going? Like there is so
Well,
many options.
I think that they could also run like you guys a little bit to where honestly you just find a decent group of dudes who can catch the ball. Like no one's out here like a Devontae or whatever on the Ravens, but you guys have guys who can catch and make plays. Maybe running with tight ends, but no, I mean one good solid receiver would be cool, but they definitely need to build some
So,
depth.
so, some changes need to be made. And when it comes to Houston, I mean, I don't think they looked any. They haven't looked any better than they have in their slump play
No,
this season. I mean,
no,
it's like I'm not expecting. I wasn't expecting either of these teams to make any type of run after this, but now I'm like confident. Like Houston is playing.
Houston looks like Houston coming into the divisional round last year. It was like, oh no, they have like they're not going to beat the Ravens, but there's a shot.
I mean, Houston is
But
playing
them coming
Baltimore.
into the divisional, it would have to be handed to them for them to win.
I mean, next week they're playing Baltimore or Kansas City.
Yes,
So it's
not happening.
over for the season for Houston is pretty much over. But let's talk about the game that I mean I'm more interested in.
Do I
I'm
have
more
anything else to say
I'm
about the Chargers? Um,
Quinn Johnson.
no, but getting back to Herbert, it's like I don't know. It's like these guys get put in the like when guys talk about elite throwers of the football, it's Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Jackson might get talked about there, but then it's Trevor Lawrence. Um,
I think Lamar's there now.
no, Lamar's been there, but the
Lamar's
problem is
that's the thing.
the
He's
the, the
been there.
problem is that the way that they talk about these quarterbacks, but they throw Herbert in there. Harbaugh's calling him one of the best quarterbacks he's ever seen. They throw Trevor Lawrence in there, and then it's just guys who, and then the whole time they're knocking Lamar for being 2-4 in the playoffs. It's like this motherfucker's been in 6 playoff games with a team that is usually very subpar offensively. If we look at their weapons, if you put Justin Herbert on this Ravens team with the same receiver weapons, you're gonna say,
The
"Oh,
last
get him." You're gonna say, "Get him more weapons."
the last 7 years, absolutely, yeah.
You're saying, "Get him more weapons," but Lamar
It
doesn't get
Deshaun
that. Get him
Jackson
more
and
weapons.
fucking Des Bryant or whoever the
Exactly.
fuck. I mean, what are we
No,
doing?
but it's like Lamar doesn't get that whatever. He doesn't get that excuse.
That
But he's
pass.
out here making the playoffs every year, winning
Mm-hmm.
playoff games. And then Herbert's like, "Oh, well, he needs another head coach. He needs this, he needs that." Same thing with fucking Trevor Lawrence. It's
Well,
like,
you
"Oh,
got to
you need
think.
another
I
team
mean,
around." It's like, make the fucking plays. If you're
just
that fucking good.
just think about it. Think about it though. Think about 10 years ago, or think about 15 years ago. There was Brady,
Yep,
Peyton Manning,
yep.
shit, Drew Brees,
Roethlisberger, Aaron,
Roethlisberger.
A-Rod.
Philip Rivers could sling that thing,
Yeah,
but we weren't expecting what we were expecting, bro, to go on some Super Bowl runs, go on some
exactly.
playoff runs. Like there were those quarterbacks, and it's like the same thing where it's like, and we're gonna talk about it. But say Josh Allen doesn't win this, win this award. It's like okay, but Drew Brees never won it. It's like
Yeah,
doesn't mean like I don't know. It's like Justin Herbert. We just might realize it's like okay, it's like as a talent, yeah,
yeah,
it's like no, he can sling that bitch,
yeah.
but
But I
until
want him to be I want him to be pressured the way that these top guys are. The way they
I
talk
think,
about Burrow and the way they talk about Josh.
but
Like, I mean, all credit to Josh. We even looked at this team, that Bills offense before the season, and we're like, this is dog shit. He's playing with fucking Mac Hollins and Khalil Shakir. He doesn't get the excuse. He's out here fucking damn near an MVP.
mhm.
And you got Herbert, and you're like, yeah, well,
but
receivers
we've
suck, and you
never,
got this and that.
but year in and year out, we've never looked at the Chargers as a team as
No,
as a contender, as
no, I agree.
scary. It's like we've never until you got to think, bro. It's like out of nowhere, Atlanta's in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Here comes Matt Ryan,
MVP Matt
Hall of
Ryan
Famer Matt Ryan,
downhill. Yeah,
MVP Matt Ryan, and
yeah,
Julio. It's like that was because Atlanta as a whole, they were a really good football team.
yeah,
And then you had those years where it was just Matt Ryan slinging that bitch, and you know maybe not the best production going on around him.
yeah,
Besides, I guess Julio. But either
yeah.
way,
Who was their running back?
Devontae
Devontae
Freeman.
Freeman. Yes,
Yeah.
George.
But I mean, it's just I don't know. I think we know Justin Herbert's ceiling for whatever team he's on at the moment, and just going into next season, it's like depending on what they look like going into next season, depending on how the AFC West looks next season. I mean, you got Denver on their ass. You got Kansas City had no clue what they're going to look like next year. No
Yeah,
clue what type of run they're going to go on this year. I mean,
yeah,
LA's in a shitty spot.
yeah,
The,
yeah.
the
No,
Chargers are in a bad spot when it comes to just the window for going on some type of Super Bowl run. It's you have the quarterback. You have the quarterback, I think, with the skill, with the ability to do so,
yeah,
but just the team has never been good enough to
no.
compete in
But
the AFC.
at the same time, it's like they had a good chance of beating this team. This is a much weaker Houston team. If you wanted to see anyone in this playoff group, it's that team for the Chargers. They want to see that team. And for them to play like that is horrendous. And, I mean, if you had Lamar out here throwing 4 picks in a playoff game, even Josh Allen, it's like, no, doesn't
They'd
make
be
any
on that.
sense.
Yeah,
Like,
but what would you say? So if it was Josh Allen or Lamar, he'd get more heat.
they get way more heat. It wouldn't be on the team
Why?
at all.
Because there's more because those
Well,
quarterbacks can do more with less.
there's, well, I know it's 3. There's like
They're better.
there should be a separate group of top quarterbacks. It's Pat, Josh, Lamar. Those are dudes that
There is,
who have
and
proven themselves to play well with less. But the jury's still out on Burrow just because he's got Jamar.
no, it's not.
He's got Jamar,
Okay,
man.
whatever. But it's arm. It's arm talent. When they're bringing up Lawrence and Herbert at this point, it's people with the talent in their right arm
Yeah.
and what they can do on a football field. But their teams, just like the Jags, it's like they're not good enough.
No, I know.
Especially in the AFC, bro. It's like, nah, they're just, it's not.
But like you said with all those quarterbacks, it's like how many top quarterbacks did we talk about and be like, oh, he's on a shit team? Or were we talking about, no, Big Ben didn't play well enough. A-Rod sucked, or Drew Brees sucked, or Matt Ryan sucked. It was like a lot
No,
of
I mean,
that.
there's plenty. Are you asking me, are there years where a quarterback plays well on a shit team? Because, yeah.
No, it was more of
Or
I
are
don't
there
know.
years where teams don't do well and a quarterback isn't one of the biggest people to blame?
Yeah,
Well, see, okay, but there's outliers though, like Matt Stafford's tenure in Detroit.
no, of course,
It's like we
sure,
knew it wasn't bro.
yeah.
I mean,
No,
I
that's
think
fair.
that's the same
That's a
thing
good
for a
point.
lot of quarterbacks where it's like I think we know for what a team like the Jags or the Chargers have for right now, we know what their ceiling is.
Yeah,
And it's almost like we just need this type of proof to show like, yeah, no, when we're talking about quarterbacks that can win,
hmm
we're not talking about Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence. If we want to talk about guys who got the arm, guys who
yeah,
have the talent, guys who can throw a ball as far as Patrick Mahomes, sure,
yeah,
we can talk about we can bring them up in those type of conversations. But I think if anything, it's like they're getting exposed where it's like y'all need a lot more to win, and
yeah.
this and just
No,
as a whole, this team ain't
and
good.
I mean, like we said before the season, it was like give them 1 to 2 years. I
Yeah,
honestly didn't expect them to win this many games this year.
I didn't expect them to be in the playoffs. I didn't expect them to be the fifth seed. I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't expect to be picking them to win a playoff game this year.
exactly.
So to own, like I do think, with all that being said, another year or two, shit, next year, I mean, they could be winning the AFC West. Who knows?
Yeah,
I mean, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what
yeah.
because I don't think LA is getting worse next year.
Well, if they do, it's Harbaugh's fucking neck. He's done. But
Yeah, well, I'm saying I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't think they get worse. I don't
no,
think.
I
I
I
think
don't
they
think they get
know
worse.
what
I think
they
they
know
have
what they
pull. I
got.
think they can get people. Um, but I mean, yeah, I mean, once they do get people, it's like no, you got to win.
Yeah,
You got to win. You got to win a playoff game. You got to win
that's
multiple playoff games.
that's the thing. We're not really putting LA in that conversation of like y'all got to win now. Like
Yeah,
Lamar has to win now.
yeah, no, agreed.
Like
Josh
he
has
has
to
to
win now.
win now. Josh has to win now.
Yeah,
Pat don't got to win now. Pat don't got to win shit. Pat
Pat
don't got
never
to
has
do
to win again.
anything.
I don't
Pat
want to
don't
see the
got.
motherfucker win again.
He probably still is, but either way, um,
Fuck,
let's talk about
dude.
the
I don't want to say it's a waste, but just to talk about all the fucking potential possibilities, and it's like, oh, fucking the Chiefs.
bro. People still complain how it wasn't like Detroit, Baltimore last year.
I know. I complain about it every day,
And
dude.
but it might be that this year,
That would have been awesome.
and I don't want that.
No.
As a Ravens fan, Pittsburgh,
What,
Baltimore.
Detroit, Baltimore?
No.
Who'd you rather see? All right. Would you rather
Uh,
not make the Super Bowl or play Detroit in the
oh,
Super
I'd
Bowl?
rather make.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
no,
Yes. You'd rather make the Super
no.
Bowl and
I'd
lose.
rather not make the Super Bowl than lose it.
Really?
Absolutely. I'd rather be 2-0 than 2-1. 2-0 to 2-1.
Nah, give me a Super Bowl appearance, bro.
No. And you
Yeah,
just
bro.
know because you said you use that excuse all the time for no, because then they're gonna pull a Bengals and say, "Look, oh, see, you just." I don't want to be in that situation where he
Well,
made it
no,
and that's good
no,
enough.
I think it'd be the opposite for Lamar. It's like, oh
No,
well, he got
no,
there, but he can't
no.
win one.
Burrow made it, and they were like, "Okay, well, we know what he can do," and it
Yeah,
never
no.
happened. It hasn't happened again. And
Well, it's
now
been a
this
few
shit
years,
with
but yeah. Well, it's yeah.
exactly. It's been a few years and it's been shit.
I know.
It's been shit for
Yeah, I know.
the Bengals, but Pittsburgh versus Baltimore. I mean, I'm not gonna
The
lie.
masterclass.
I picked Pittsburgh.
You did,
I was scared. I picked it solely off of fear, and that was
but
because I thought that it was going to be an emotion-driven game, and that Pittsburgh was going to come in pissed, and maybe they weren't going to come in playing how they've been playing the past month. Luckily,
but I think the way that they played the past month and the way that they played against y'all tonight is just what that football team is.
yeah.
Like like we said, like no, they just have a super tough schedule coming into the last month of games.
Well, they were playing real. They're playing 4 straight
Comp.
games versus real competition. All 4 teams playing for something.
Yep.
You had the Ravens playing for a division. You had the Eagles. Well, I mean, playing to have Saquon just dominate for that record and
Yep.
make sure they clinch the East. You had Kansas City playing for the 1 seed. You had
Yeah, the Bengals
Cincinnati playing just to have
playing
a
for
chance.
a chance. Yeah,
And that was Pittsburgh also playing to have a chance to
have a
win the
chance.
North. It's like y'all were both playing for a chance, and Cincinnati beat
Yeah,
y'all.
and it's like no, like I get that they were on pace to blow you guys out of the water in the division, but
They were
yeah,
two
this
games
last
ahead. A month ago, they were 2 games ahead,
exactly
and there was
they had
no
already beaten you
problems,
guys.
and they were walking into the AFC North at that
No,
third spot.
exactly.
They were
But I mean, yeah, it's pretty simple. They started playing real teams, and they don't have the consistent offensive production to back up what their defense does. And the second that their defense makes a mistake, especially against you guys, they're shot.
okay. I mean, let's because I'm not gonna take nothing because this is exactly what I wanted, Devin. This is the exact type of win I wanted.
This is what we've been talking about all year.
We
It's
won.
front loading wins.
The Baltimore Ravens won a football game, and they stuck to their game plan. They stuck with what worked.
Yep.
And they executed on every single level.
And they did it early.
When Lamar had to throw,
Yep.
when Lamar decided, hey, let's throw it. Let's throw it once or twice. We ran it 15 times in a row. Let's throw it. Is that cool? Okay. Because that's what happened. We didn't have to throw that football
at all.
It was we're gonna give it the ball to Derek.
No, it was we're gonna pound the fuck out of him, and then I'm gonna take that bitch and move it around.
Well, yeah.
And then when they crash everybody in on Derek, there's fucking Andrews or whomever sitting across the middle.
Yeah, it's you either got to tackle Derek, chase Lamar, and then they're gonna make you do both of those things.
Yep.
And then you got to go out there and either stop 6'6" Isaiah Likely from catching a football. Yep. You got to stop Mark Andrews. You got to
Charlie Flower.
Rashad going crazy. Bateman. You got Nelson out there making plays. We got Tylan Wallace out there making plays. But we got so many people out there making plays. And it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. It got to the point where, I mean, I don't get hyped for injuries or whatever, but it's like by the end of that first half, both TJ and Cam Hayward were falling apart.
I know.
They were falling apart.
I know.
And it was solely, I believe, from just, it's like, I mean, bro, it's freezing cold and you got to tackle this monster in the backfield. It's like, bro, it's just Derrick Henry running into you. Ow. Ouch.
Yep.
It's just, and you could see it just, TJ getting his arm wrapped up and Cam being banged up, his head.
Yep.
He was standing there because they were saying he were saying like he got checked for a concussion but got sent back. But when he was walking to the tunnel,
it's funny because I guarantee you, every time that someone goes into concussion protocol, I bet it's 90% that they have a concussion, and I bet it's 50-50 on them coming in or out.
Absolutely. Oh, Cam walking into the tunnel for halftime was
lost. Yeah.
Now he could have just been pissed, but at the same time, he
Probably
also might have been a little rattled from tackling a 6'3", 200
6'4",
whatever.
6'4", two.
Just
I think someone was saying that 250 was on the low end. He always says 250, but that's the low end.
Derek looks huge. And I thought that just
Massive.
today. It's like he looks even bigger.
Yeah.
And he was moving. And God, the stiff arm to Minka and Isaiah Likely putting people in the ground, bro.
Isaiah's a dog.
We dominated.
Yeah.
We dominated. We
And
stuck to our game plan. We didn't abandon shit.
No.
And it worked. And the defense.
And it was like, I think you guys could have scored a lot more if that game was closer.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. It's like we put
Like
up 21 in the
if their
first
defense
half.
wasn't, I mean, if their offense wasn't that fucking bad, y'all are gonna put up 42 on them.
We put up 21 in the first half, and then that first drive after when the second half started, I thought it was like 4th and 1. I thought we should have went for it.
Yeah,
but we punted it. I believe they ended up scoring, and then
but
we
if it
scored
if
again.
it mattered, if the game was closer, you guys are gonna take different shots.
We were up 14 in the fourth quarter. We weren't taking shots.
No,
y'all
wasted the last fucking 6 minutes of the game.
Yeah, bro.
Bro,
we had what 304 yards in the first half.
Total
310, 300. It was
298 rushing yards as a postseason record.
It was 304 right before Justice Hill scored that touchdown. Yep. So however many yards his touchdown was, but Lamar broke the record. He has the most rushing, postseason yards for a quarterback.
600 yards, 600 something yards in 7 games or whatever.
And also, Lamar might just have to, in order to win a Super Bowl, and he did it, I'll say a little bit more tonight than he usually does in just any game. And that's just putting his body on the line.
No, yeah.
He might have to sacrifice, because Lamar is very good at avoiding tackles and just avoiding contact.
But today it seemed like
you got to stick your head. You got.
Yeah, but he was taking looks that maybe weren't as open, but to get those extra yards, like he was cutting back earlier. He was hitting a different gap and just taking a hit, but still knocking people over and getting.
Yeah, and and that's the thing. It's like he got a little banged up and he was sitting there wincing, and then it's like, and then scrambles around and makes a beautiful. It's like Lamar's fine. It's like he's going to for this next month in order to get to this Super Bowl. He's gonna have to just sacrifice that body. Like he might in order to get the Super Bowl might have to take a year or two off of the career just to get this chip. And honestly, I think any player would. I think any player would.
Of course, but the thing with Lamar, it's like I don't know. Everyone's obviously running is a big part of his whatever, but I think if there was no run game with him, he's still, if not the best passer in the league, one of, if not the best.
And what's beautiful is, and we're going to talk about this next episode.
It's like I think it was like mid game or whatever. But one of the announcers, I can't remember which ones they are, but they were like, yeah, he's got one incompletion, and it was a throwaway ball. And it's like, no quarterback, unless it's Jared Goff earlier in the season, is throwing 15, 20 balls and missing 2 or 3 of them consistently, damn near every fucking game.
Oh, for sure.
Like I don't know if did he break the QBR record? Or passer rating record for the year? I can't remember.
I don't know if I was about to say, if he didn't break the damn record, he's close enough to where it's still impressive. Yeah. Either way, I don't know where we were because we got cut off in the middle of the damn recording, so we're just going to keep going on about how dominant they were playing or whatever. But what I wanted to bring up was the fact that we still don't have Zay. We get Zay Flowers next week, or hopefully next week. Tight ends are looking dominant. Derrick Henry's moving. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, Brandon Stevens scares me, but no more than he has all year.
Yeah.
I don't.
Now, George Pickens is an idiot.
I mean, is there a world where what's up?
George Pickens is an idiot.
Why is that?
He had a fucking catchable ball. and then decides to push off on Marlowe. It's like he didn't have to push off. The ball would have hit him right in the tits, and then just
Hey,
gives
you know,
Marlowe a good shove. It was like, all right, dude. Now Marlowe could have gotten to
that's
that ball,
the.
but
Hmm.
take the risk of just not pushing off. You're in wide open field.
But I mean, with him scaring me, I think our team, the defense just look like a whole nother level of just focused
Yeah,
and dominant. And we had people out there. I will say there was some arm tackling. There were some guys on out there for some highlight hits that weren't really necessary when they
yeah,
could have just won it. Routine tackling. There's still, I don't know. It blows my mind. I mean, but the fact that there's still people blatantly grabbing face masks or blatantly holding. It's like, I guess there's still people blatantly arm tackling.
yeah.
It's like I don't know. I guess
That
that's
missed
something that I'll
face
never.
mask early in the game was horrendous.
Oh, I'd have called that right away. I was like, that's a
Immediately, I was
face
like,
mask,
face mask, because his
and they
head
wouldn't.
was turned the other fucking way.
And notice how they didn't show. They just showed the muff. They replayed the muff when they
No,
were going
no,
to
no.
commercial.
They showed the
Well,
replay.
no, going into commercial though.
Yes,
I was like, show that shit. Show it. They
they
didn't
showed it
show
late.
it.
Yeah.
But then they got back, and it was more of them like, so this is why it's not a face mask. I guess because he didn't like fully grab it.
No, well, I think they did end up saying that it was a face mask, but it was like, oh, well, he kind of swiped at it.
That's what I'm saying.
His
They were
fingers
trying
didn't go
to
into it. Because I heard that at first, and I was like,
bullshit.
bullshit. But then they were like, no, it actually is. But either way, missed, doesn't matter.
Either way, Lamar Jackson. Before I talk about any more Lamar Jackson, so I brought this up a couple of weeks ago. Are we bringing up, the possibility of rethinking the whole Russell Wilson being the guy in Pittsburgh and
No. Well, I don't think they were ever fully set on him. I
they
think that
said they were a month
well,
ago.
I
We're
understand.
rocking out with him,
No, I understand.
including this game. He's 6-6 with the Steelers as a
No,
starting quarterback. He is 6-6.
I understand. I think that they think that this year, at least, he's a better option than Justin Fields. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I think that for this team, the way it is, I think that their defense can really only get worse and age out. I think that their offense is still incredibly incomplete. I don't think that their ceiling is any higher than the way it is now. And if they're going to continue to have these mid seasons where they're not getting high draft picks and they're not drafting well and they're not going out and getting a quarterback or someone who's going to change their franchise, then they're just going to end up in this cycle for a long time. They're going to be stuck here. So
So what?
I don't
Rock
think
out
Russ
with
is
a
the
mid
problem, but
Russ.
I don't know what the
Russ
solution
is
for them is.
not good. Russell Wilson is not that
No,
good.
I know.
That's the problem. No, he is one of the problems. He is a problem. Like we talked about the Steelers, how they looked these last 4 weeks or last 5 weeks. It has a lot to do with how Russell Wilson's been playing, and it's not been
But
great.
what are their options, you know?
I'm just saying. Look, maybe my take isn't don't go with Russ, but maybe my take is do not have your don't
No.
lock in right
Short
now. Don't not.
short leash on Russ. Big time.
I'm saying be open minded this
Of
offseason.
course.
Go into this offseason. Think of different scenarios. I'm just saying, if you really got the guy that you're confident in next season, you shouldn't have to pull him on 3rd and 1 in the playoffs.
No.
You shouldn't have to have a package for your backup quarterback to rely on more than Russell Wilson getting a yard or two for a first down.
Yeah.
Because genuinely, the man can't win games. There is no let Russ cook. There is no Russ. He is a game managing quarterback at this point. And honestly, we kind of figured that out. We figured that out when he left Seattle, and Geno filled his spot and played damn near as fucking good his last 3 years when he was with Seattle.
Exactly.
So I'm saying like Russ played good enough for how good the Steelers are.
Yes.
They got a fucking top 5. Well, then they didn't look top 5, but a top 5 defense. They got
Still a good defense.
They have stars. They have weapons on that offense. Russ is. I don't know if they couldn't have won 10 games with Brock Purdy this year. They probably could have won 10 games with Brock Purdy.
They definitely could have.
That's what I'm saying. Like but that doesn't move me. That's not saying enough. That's a diss. That's a bad thing.
No, agreed. But
I
Like,
think Drake May could have won 10 fucking games.
probably. But the weird thing about this team is, like, they either have to go out and get a game changing quarterback or find a way to improve this offense without. I mean, Russ, again, is not good, but he's not out here throwing 5 picks a game. He's not out here fucking shit up too bad. I think that defense this year at least was good enough for Russ to come in and play okay. Um, but I don't know. Like I don't. Maybe they can get a late draft pick, but I don't think they're taking a quarterback.
I
I
think
don't
they
know what this team
absolutely
needs to
should.
hit that next step. I think they're going to be stuck at this fucking spot for a long time if they continue to do
They
this shit
absolutely. But so what? So you're saying stick with a mid Russ?
and improve the rest of the team, man.
How you can't do you, bro? You cannot do much more improving for this team.
I
The
know, but what
defense is
quarterback?
dominant,
All right, then
and
have him go out and find a quarterback. I don't think Justin's the answer either.
okay. I mean, fuck. I mean, bro. Put any feelings aside. You're not calling Aaron. You're not having a conversation with them.
Yeah.
You're not. I mean, you're not thinking about it.
No, you definitely have to think about it.
I'm just saying, like Russ is good enough to win more games than they lose for the Pittsburgh Steelers,
Yes.
and that's about it. He is
And
good enough
you know who
to
else is?
continue the Tomlin
You know
streak.
who else is? Fucking Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
What was that guy's name? Duck Quack or something?
So why not go with a rookie quarterback then, Devin? Why not? We're gonna pay him absolutely nothing, and we're still gonna win 9 or 10 games. Fuck
Or
it, we'll run with Justin Fields and still win 9 or 10 games.
or cut your fucking losses on this goddamn team and try a rebuild for once.
Okay, and that was kind of be my point with Aaron. It's like, bro, go into Super Bowl or bust season and then just tank if y'all can't get it done with Aaron.
Well, I mean, it's like you got to give up on this at some point.
Yeah.
They haven't made a Super Bowl since 2011. They've been there. They've been in the playoffs for the past 20 fucking years.
They'll never tank under Tomlin.
Get rid of Tomlin.
You can't.
Why?
Tomlin wins too much.
But
he wins too much. You can't be every single year winning games, making the playoffs, having a dominant defense, having crazy DPOYs, always being able to pump out great receivers. It's like, no, you can't get rid of him. Mike Tomlin's one of the greatest head coaches of all time. You can't get rid of Mike Tomlin.
But is Tomlin not tired of just being mid?
I'm sure he is, but I think Tomlin knows it's not him.
None of it's him.
Exactly.
It's been it's been almost 15 years of okay enough football.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, people talk about how they had the potential to make another Super Bowl with the Triple Bs.
Yeah. And it didn't happen.
But it's like the Steelers and Tomlin both have to cut their losses and try to do something because they're not going to get anything from being 9-8 every fucking year or 10-7.
I think until it's clear they don't have the talent to go on some type of run or make the playoffs, then you let Tomlin walk. I don't think they let him go out like Bill.
But what are we playing for? Are we playing for making the playoffs?
Devin, I think all 32 teams are playing to win the Super Bowl.
I don't think the Steelers are.
The Steelers, dude, they are. But I'm saying 5 weeks ago, they looked like way more scary contenders than they looked when they went through 4 weeks of actual opponent or actual contenders.
Yeah.
So if anything, it's like they absolutely were playing for the North, playing to go on a Super Bowl run. This Russell Wilson resurgence, the defense
here's
dominance.
The thing: the team didn't change. The team didn't get worse when they played these good teams. They just played good teams, and it showed how bad they are.
Yeah, but I'm saying, and with that, you're gonna look worse. So yeah,
but it's not like
worse.
The team fucking changed. It's like, no, they played fucking comp. They're not that fucking good.
Yeah, but to answer the question to what do I think the Steelers were playing for this year? It was like, well, when they were 2 games ahead of the Ravens in the North,
But it's
they were
delusion.
Super Bowl, they were contenders.
Delusion.
We before we realized the run they had to go on, we were also hyping the Steelers up
A
and saying that
little. A
they were
little,
10
of
and
course.
3.
But then we looked at the schedule. And it's like,
Look,
I don't
I'm
know.
just saying you might have to
I
rethink
would.
the rush shit.
I just want I don't know. It's weird to have a team that's just fucking pretty good. Like this never happens.
Bro, but I don't know. It's I think it's more enjoyable than being like a Jags or a Browns fan. I mean, at least you
No.
get to go into the year with some type of hope.
See, but here's the thing. I've lived through a lot of piss poor years with my team. And we don't do rebuilds right or whatever, but if we do it correctly, could be cool. But I mean, honestly, I'd rather have no hope in a season than hope in making the playoffs, and that's it.
But I think if you were born into born as a Steelers fan and you've only known your team as a team that was at least going to make the playoffs every year, and then every year it's like you got a dominant defense, you got a great running back in Najee, you got every single season it's Le'Veon Bell and Big Ben and Antonio Brown, and now it's Najee and George Pickens and all this shit. I mean, there was a time where Juju Smith-Schuster looked amazing.
I know. Well, the
It's like
fucking year they went 11-0 to start the season. They're like, oh, we're this, we're that. It's delusion.
they crumbled, and that's. But I mean, at the end of the day, what is all this? What does all this mean? Get rid of Mike Tomlin and what? Put somebody else there to do even worse?
If
It's
it
like
if
no,
it
no, no.
means that this team restarts, then
If
maybe.
you're gonna end up being, if you are gonna actually have some type of chance of being a Super Bowl contender, I'd rather have that talent being coached by Mike Tomlin.
Well, then either go out and pay for talent, or take a losing season on the chin with Tomlin and keep him.
We'll
Draft
see.
people and then whatever.
We
But
we we
I
will
don't know.
see.
Such a weird
We
fucking
will
thing.
see. But Lamar looked great. Do you want to talk about the All Pro situation? That's because I'm not gonna lie. You and I mean maybe because I want to know how you feel because I think last episode or 1 or 2 episodes ago you said it's going to Josh.
Well,
You're like
I mean, I've had that feeling for a while. I mean, because for just the longest time, it didn't. It felt like whatever Lamar did,
now I'm
Josh
gonna take.
Allen would just sneak it out.
I will take this with a grain of salt only because I don't think Lamar is 100% like all right now that he's first team all pro he is going to win MVP.
Well, I think that's kind of how it works, you know.
Now if that is now I want to go into this article because I did see this article and before literally before reading this I was still under the impression that okay it is what it is. Josh is going to be given it and Lamar can just be Super Bowl MVP. Baltimore Ravens Lamar Jackson appears to be on the verge to become the youngest in NFL history to win a third NFL MVP. The 28-year-old can probably start writing his acceptance speech after Friday's Associated Press All-Pro Team announcement. Jackson was named the NFL's first-team All-Pro quarterback for the 2024 season after receiving 31st place votes to Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen's 18. That makes him only 2 players with more than 3 NFL MVPs, or that what is that? That makes him the All-Pro quarterback for the second year in a row, and now only 2 players with more than 3 NFL MVPs have more first-team All-Pro selections at the quarterback position than Jackson. Peyton Manning has 7, Aaron has 5. That's it.
What they say about over 3 MVPs?
It's and now only 2 players with more than 3 NFL MVPs have more first team all pro selections at the quarterback position than Lamar.
Gotcha.
So Tom Brady, I believe, has 3. Mahomes has 2.
Tom has 3. Favre has 3.
Yeah, but Aaron has
4.
4, and
Manning has 5.
7 all pro selections, 5 NFL MVPs, 4 all pro selections, 4 NFL MVPs.
Gotcha.
The Associated Press is also the body that votes for the NFL MVP.
Yep.
All right, right there. That's where they got me. But
Like,
also,
but what are they going to flip the votes? It's
bro,
like,
but is
no,
there not a
it's
world?
like, oh, this is the best quarterback in the league, and then it's like, oh, who's the best MVP quarterback? The other guy. Let's flip
Bro,
it.
but is there not a
No,
world where
there is a world.
they
This
they give
season's felt
him
so weird.
they give him this because they know they're not giving him MVP?
But here's the thing: Josh Allen's a Pro Bowl starter.
So
I don't know. It's weird. It's like Lamar's the best quarterback in the league, according to the All Pro thing.
it says with a
Josh
Q,
starts in the Pro Bowl because he's apparently the best quarterback. Who wins the MVP?
he gets the most votes, and I believe it's also fan voted too. Or I believe fans nominate or something. Either way, um, since 2013, a quarterback has won the award. It's safe to say Jackson will be taking home the MVP for the third time in his career after winning the award in 2019 and 2023. He was already the only player in NFL history with a Heisman Trophy and 2 NFL MVPs, and he will also become the first with a Heisman and 3 NFL MVPs. Jackson had one of the best seasons in NFL history. He finished the regular season with 4,172 yards, a 41-4 passing to touchdown interception ratio, 915 yards rushing, and a 119.6 passer rating. That means Jackson finished the 2024 season with the following first: 4,000 or more passing yards and 600 or more rushing yards, 40 or more passing yards and 800 or more rushing yards, 40 or more passing touchdowns and fewer than 5 interceptions. Reigning MVP with at least 40 or more passing touchdowns the following season. His 119.6 ranked as the fourth most all time,
Gotcha.
trailing the only occurrences was Rodgers in 2011, who won an MVP.
Yep.
2020 Rodgers, 2011 MVP, and Manning in 2004.
MVP.
The NFL Honors
No.
Award we can officially receive his third NFL MVP on February 6th at 9 p.m. Okay. So what does that mean to you?
It means that he should win the NFL MVP award, but I don't know. And
But you know,
now,
I mean,
but
some juries but some juries vote guilty, but no death penalty. You know, it's
sure,
like they might vote you all pro, but not an MVP. I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. If they want to pull some bullshit, like if we look at All Pro, first team All Pro, that we know that means the best quarterback in the NFL. You're the best at your position if you're first team All Pro. Now, if you're the MVP, if they want to start talking about the team he had and what they did and the amount of wins and this and that, then and they give it to Josh Allen, then we know what the MVP is and it's a load of shit. But if we're talking about the best quarterback in the league, it's Lamar Jackson. So if they want to pull some narrative and shit with him not having this and him not having that, whatever, and winning games, they can do that. Josh can take a fucking MVP. Who gives a shit? But
Well, we'll know it's bullshit if they give Josh the MVP after showing their hand.
exactly.
I mean, they showed us. This is who we think the best quarterback in the NFL is.
Exactly.
So that's
So
probably who's
honestly, it
winning the
shouldn't matter.
MVP.
Like, but no quarterback's ever been in this situation.
But like,
There hasn't been
is he in this situation, or did everybody gas up Josh and they were like, nope, it's Lamar?
but no, there hasn't been an All Pro and MVP difference among quarterbacks in recent history.
Well, I would
But
hope to say that.
Lamar is the best quarterback in the league, at least this year, and I think people know that.
I hope people know it, Devin.
And
I
if they
really
want to
do.
sling an MVP to Josh, they can fucking do it. But it's all lame bullshit. Who cares?
But it would be a discredit to Lamar Jackson's season if he didn't finish with a
Yeah,
MVP.
but I mean, Lamar's attitude is winning the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, they were chanting MVP, and he visibly was shut up. Like, we
Yeah,
need to call this play and get this first down.
of course.
Like.
But I mean, that's like even before winning his first, it was like I want a Super Bowl.
I mean, when he won his
Obviously, it's
second
cool to
last
win
year.
and cool to win too, but Yeah, he wants a ball. That's it.
When he won his second last year, it was like this was cool, but
Yeah.
I'd like a Lombardi trophy. That'd be sick.
So I mean, yeah, it's cool, but I don't think Lamar. I don't think Lamar's legacy should change based off the amount of MVPs that he has going forward past this point, because I think we already know what he can do and what he's able to do and whatever. But I don't know.
All right. Well, let's get into these Sunday games. Hopefully some of them, a lot of them, they're gonna be good. Some of them are gonna be good.
No, he's gonna be good.
Now Denver versus Buffalo. I think
I
like
yeah.
Buffalo's not gonna lose this game, right?
Uh,
There is no bro. It's like Denver. I don't even know if Denver really like Denver. Yeah, like good job. Like I made the playoffs, but like as much as you want to sit here and hate on Buffalo, they're winning this football game.
yeah, no, I think they are. I would be pretty shocked if they didn't. I mean, I don't think it'll be like a. I mean, I wasn't too high up on the Chargers, um, and I think that game was a lot just closer in general
Mm-hmm.
than this one. But yeah, no, Buffalo should do their thing at home. Should fuck the Broncos up pretty handily, but
How about Green Bay and Philly?
that game I haven't thought about much because I don't.
Well,
I
it's pretty simple. Jalen Hurts is back.
yep,
Christian Watson is out,
you're right.
and according to Jordan Love, his elbow is still sore, and he's still
Yeah,
dealing with some type of pain. He's still banged up.
yeah.
Philly's winning this.
Phillies win.
Philly's
This
low
is
key
a
my like.
rematch of the first game of the season.
They're kind. We got
Brazil.
a couple. We got a couple week one rematches this week or
Oh, we
this
do, yeah.
wild card round. Philly is kind of my like secret favorite, like secret sneaky favorite.
NFC favorite.
Like yeah, to sneak. Like I'm saying, like I'm not gonna be surprised if it's not Detroit, if it's not the who it should be. The number one team.
Sure.
I think it's gonna.
Philly.
Well, I guess Philly's number two. So are they that sneaky of a favorite? No, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like I'm low key. Like if I had to give odds, like I don't know. I think Philly might make it. Philly might make it over Detroit. I
No,
don't
I
know.
agree.
I don't know. They might be my NFC favorite.
I agree.
Who you going with?
Um, yeah, Philly.
Philly all day. All right, Devin.
You know what? You know what sucks?
What?
I can't watch this game.
Why?
I can't.
You're just not. It's
No, I have obligations. I cannot. Like I will not be able to watch this game.
at all. Wow. After the pod, I'm definitely gonna ask you why, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
So we gonna have to talk about it though. We're
I
gonna
know.
talk about it. So
I'm gonna
Washington,
record it or something. Or whatever.
Washington
So
going down to
everyone's all there.
Tampa, just like week one.
Yep.
It was a
I think we're both
17.
much different teams.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask: is how much has changed?
A lot. I mean, that was our rookie quarterback's first game. This guy's
First
got.
game.
I bet he had a lot of confidence then, but I would imagine his confidence is pretty supreme right now.
Right, and it's like, just the difference they're gonna see in week one, Jaden Daniels to first round of the playoffs. It's gonna be a problem.
The balls he throws, the composure he has, it's incredibly impressive.
It's gonna be a honestly, it's gonna be a mix of what quarterback makes the least amount of mistakes and
Yep.
what defense plays worse.
Yeah.
I think both defenses
Now,
have chances to get exposed.
yeah, I think Bucky is scarier than our run game. I think their run game is a little bit scarier. I think that their deep threat is scary, but they can also outwork us. But I'm not. I don't know. I'm not super afraid. Like I think that this team, if we play well, if we play up to the way that we should, I think we can put it on them well. Like we could have really, really put it on the Falcons if we didn't make a few mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can do the same thing.
Well, according to the comments, they would have won if they had a better coach, I guess. So
Who?
Atlanta. So
Shut up.
I guess y'all aren't that good.
Well, then they're racist.
Well,
Fucking
we're gonna
racist,
talk
sexist
about
shit.
that. Ooh, I
So
can't wait.
racist, dude.
I can't wait to talk about everybody pulling that card for
Are
Antonio.
you really? Are you really saying Raheem Morris isn't a fucking good head coach? Is that what you're saying?
But who you going with?
Washington. I've picked Washington every game,
So you're
and I
going
know
with Washington Commanders.
this is our first playoff game since what 2020 against Tampa.
And yeah, I was gonna say
But that was Tampa. That was Tampa Bay.
The
That was
last
Tampa.
time y'all went.
That was Tom's win.
Last time y'all went to the Super Bowl, the playoffs, y'all played Tom Brady and the Bucks in Tampa, and it was a close one.
Damn close. We should have won that game. But it was Tom's destiny. Tom had to go off and win. But before that it was Kirk. Before that it was RG3. Before that it was fucking probably 2006. So
I'm sorry, Devin.
you know that we have this. You know that we have same amount of playoff wins that you guys do Super Bowls since 2000.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Only 2?
We have 2.
Oh, wow. I mean, yeah. Well, look. I hate to say that record might be broken this year. It might be 3-2.
Fuck you.
In terms of the ratings, because I'm not gonna lie, bro. Y'all had a great year.
No, 3-2 for us.
Y'all had a great year. Y'all 12-5.
Damn, this guy's really on the Baker train, bro.
The future is bright, bro. The future is bright for Washington, Devin.
It is.
But the Tampa Bay Bucks are winning this football game.
Are they?
Yes.
No, I definitely think they can. I think that me not watching is going to save me a heart attack, but
yeah.
But also, it's like, why would I watch this game if I could just watch the divisional round? You know.
Okay, if that's the confidence you got, if that's the confidence you got, Devin. Rams, Minnesota. In Arizona.
In Arizona, because of
the fires, they had to move out to Arizona, which I don't think changes. I mean, it doesn't change my prediction.
Not at all.
Well, bro, I'm not gonna lie.
You think a relocation to
No.
Arizona?
It doesn't change my pick because I don't know what my pick is.
I don't know what my pick is either.
You know, like the Rams, like I said, like let them get into the playoffs and get hot. It's like they can catch last week's Minnesota slipping.
For sure. But the thing is, are we getting last week's Minnesota? Are we getting a different Minnesota? I haven't looked into the Rams' defense much, but
I
somewhere in the middle.
I'm gonna pick the Vikings solely because picking against them hasn't done me any justice this year.
Agreed.
And I mean, like I've been saying this for 18 weeks, 19 weeks at this point. At some point, they gotta show their true colors, and maybe they did last week. And if that's not,
but you think it's gonna get better from them?
No. I'm saying if that was their true colors, and they play the way they played last week, this week, then okay, we know that they were just regular season sellouts. And
well, the Rams are coming off a fucking loss to the fucking.
But they were coming off of a loss to the Seahawks. It didn't matter. They already won the division. They didn't care about that game. So
You're right. I'm gonna take the Rams. I think this is the time running out for the Vikings. I don't know. I think the Rams can get hot. I don't see them as a contender in the NFC, but this is definitely like it's more of less faith in the Vikings than it is more faith into the Rams. I don't have much faith in the Rams, but
Hmm.
I think
I won't be
they're.
shocked.
No, I wouldn't be shocked either way. I don't
I
really
won't be
know.
shocked
This
at
is
all.
this is definitely like the closest game.
It's time, Devin. It's time. The
What what
second
what time is it?
the second annual On It NFL MVP announcement, award, whatever. We don't got one. We don't got. Here it is.
Ooh, should
Here's
we
the
make one?
award.
Should
Last
I
year
bronze a steaming pile of a Chipotle shit?
you probably shouldn't. But what we
I
do
already got
have,
one.
we have our final. We have our final MVP votes. So if for people that weren't following all year, every week we gave our top three MVPs. 3 points for the first place, 2 points for second, 1 place for third. Added them all up at the end of the year.
What'd you say?
Combined,
Oh, okay.
combine, combine my points, combine your points, and we have a final top 10 MVP list. I will say before going into this really, really showed that we absolutely need to add an OPOI voting next year.
Yeah.
I think I think if we, because I mean the NFL MVP, yeah, it's turned into a quarterback award, and I think if we maybe look at just the
I haven't thought about
differences,
the oh boy.
but I'm saying like well it's Saquon. If we Saquon,
Jamar just won the Triple
Jamar, I was
Crown.
gonna say it could be Jamar. But that's the thing.
It's gonna be Saquon, but still,
I'm
I
just
think there's a
saying like
conversation to be had.
there's more non-quarterbacks that should be on this top 10 list, but because
Yeah.
of how quarterback heavy the NFL award is, I think next year we should look into doing an offensive player of the week every
Yeah.
week, a top 3, and I also think we should extend for MVP instead of top 3 to top 5.
Yes.
So
I
in
was
5,
thinking that like
so do a top
we need
5.
to spread it out a little bit, but at the same time it's like once you get past mid season, there's really only at max 3 MVP
Mm-hmm. But
like
I
potential
mean
players.
it's
Maybe 5, but 4
that's the
and
thing though. It was we every week everybody had a chance. I mean, everybody had a chance
yeah,
to
no,
earn
for
an
sure.
MVP vote.
Well, in
So,
our voting system,
and I
yeah.
think it was the most fair. And I think last year it proved. I mean, our MVP from our voting system was the NFL
Was the
MVP.
MVP of the week? Yeah.
So let's start with I guess should I just start with 10?
Number 10.
So number 10 on our NFL MVP list, quarterback Jalen Hurts.
Really?
He finished with 7 total votes, 7 total points.
Good for him.
So I mean, will he end up with some MVP votes this year? Probably. I mean, Jalen.
Well,
The Eagles were dominant. Saquon obviously balled, but I mean,
yeah.
Jalen did
And
his
I
thing.
think that Jalen was allowed to take kind of a backseat. He didn't have to go out there and
Yeah,
throw 40 balls and fuck everybody up. Like,
which is
you know,
kind of why he's only 10.
yes.
The only tie we have for ninth place, it's Bo Nix and Sam Darnold.
Sam Diarrhea Darnold.
Which I'm just saying, it's a disappointment looking back, and this is why I say we need an Opoy, because Jefferson should have been on this top 10 instead of Sam. But Sam having the same amount of votes as Bo Nix, I'm just saying, Devin, what does that tell you? I think that, I don't know. I think that shows a little bit of. It tells me
that we're retarded.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say, I think it shows that when we say Sam Darnold isn't this reborn amazing quarterback. It's like, no, he's about as good as a rookie quarterback that can make the playoffs in his first year.
He's Brock Purdy.
Yeah, he's Brock.
Yeah.
Number 8, Joe Burrow. 10 total points. Obviously, I think a lot.
Well, I think the biggest reason was that his best performances were in losses.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I think he still got some type of points, but winning is a factor.
Like it was rare that he was, if ever, the number 1 pick. I mean, we would put him in 2 and 3 because they were losing.
Because you got to win games. which is kind of the reason why someone that had only one more point than him and is sitting at 7, who I guess played good enough to win, won enough games, played good enough to be one vote higher than Burrow, and it's Kyler Murray. And that was a lot more of early season. The earlier in the season, he got a lot more votes from us. Because
Yes.
I went through and saw a lot more of his votes came through earlier in the season. I think he had
Yeah, and it
maybe
was like there was still hope for Kyler early in the season
there
and that whole
was.
team.
There was. I mean, there were
So,
weeks where he was balling with Marv, and they had their moments. They had their
yeah.
moments. Now these next top 6, it's when it's like, okay, now like we're really talking. Maybe if you're not a huge fan of this person, like maybe I am, maybe not. But number 6, you got Baker Mayfield. The boy balled. It's Baker
Yep.
fucking Mayfield.
Yep.
He's turned his whole he's turned his career around in with Tampa. He deserves it. 6th
Yep.
place on the MVP list. That ain't crazy.
No, I mean, not at all, actually.
Now we got our top 5. You're gonna like the top 5, and I'm gonna say you're probably the reason why somebody got pushed. But number 5, we got Saquon with 16 total points, 16 total vote points.
Yeah.
Who I think is probably gonna end up winning Opoy, if not Jamar. But the thing is, it's like
I think it'll be Saquon.
Saquon did what he did, and then they're a 14-win team.
Yeah, no, Saquon was a huge piece of them winning games.
Absolutely.
At the same time as running for 2K.
Number 4, 4th place MVP votes. Josh Allen.
Nice.
Josh Allen did not make the top 3 cut. He had 20 total voting points this season. Kind of shocked me, but honestly, no. When we look back,
I don't think so. No.
when we look back, it's like there were a lot of wins versus mid teams where he didn't have to do much, and
Yep.
And it just
like the only time that his MVP thing, like the hype around him, really kicked up was wins against piss poor teams and beating the Chiefs.
Beating the Chiefs, yeah. So
who in a real football league would be piss poor.
Yeah, probably because notice Mahomes ain't on this damn list. Bro got a total of 2. He got a total of 2 points from us this year. So Mahomes did not make.
That was probably 1 week, and we probably gave him a 3rd place.
Yeah, it's absolutely what it was. He got 1 from me, 1 from you.
Yeah, good job, Mahomes. And he was 5th in MVP, like favorites, odds the whole year.
3rd place with 2 more points than Josh Allen.
Jaden McDaniels.
Rookie Jaden Daniels.
Nice.
Was our 3rd place MVP, which honestly, we said it was crazy, but everybody was telling us that, look, I mean, the man is not only in O'Roy conversations, he is in MVP conversations.
Yes.
And I think he proved it. I think this proves it. I think he deserves the 3rd spot. Obviously, people think Josh is 2nd, and maybe he would be the 3rd, but who we have at 2nd is actually Jared Goff. Who, like you talked about, there were just games where Jared Goff was throwing more touchdowns than incompletions. There were just.
And it was a lot. But it was like, no, Jared is like a strong contender. And then it was like, oh, he had a bad game.
Yeah, he had the 5-pick game.
It was a 5-pick game,
and everybody was on his ass, and he still. But that's the thing. You won.
It's like, yeah, how detrimental was it to the team?
Like that's how good y'all are. Y'all can win even if you throw.
Yeah, that's true. But like for him to be that efficient for a lot of the year, I think it was incredibly impressive, especially against like good teams. Like he was playing in the North, where every fucking team, like, except for the Bears, was good. The North only lost to the North. They only lost to the teams because they had to fucking play
each other twice.
Exactly.
And he had 24 total points from us. Now, number 1 on the list, 1st place, with a total of, now, if this doesn't show more than anything that the voting system proved who the fuck the MVP is. Jared Goff, 24. First place with 39 points, Devin.
Simple.
It's Lamar Jackson.
Simple.
Who, how many did he have last year? We gave him 38. We gave him 38 last year. We gave him...
And you know what's happening? He's having a better year.
He's having a better year. He got more votes from us throughout the whole season this year than he did last year. And he's having an even better season. If this doesn't prove it, the All-Pro doesn't prove it, I don't know what will. Lamar Jackson, second time winning the MVP through our voting system. And I think it's pretty fucking foolproof. I think it is. I
mean, we'll see down the road, but I don't know. I don't see us being wrong in this one.
And if we are, we're 2-0 for the people. We're 2-0 for the people. Okay. NBA though. There is an NBA situation going on, and it's the same situation that is the most interesting to talk about.
Well, can I put in one situation?
What's your situation?
The dumbest headline I've ever seen.
What?
Pelicans suspend Zion Williamson 1 game for being late to a team flight. Your fucking dumb fat ass can't get on a fucking flight, you sack of shit. Fuck. Your ankles don't work. You can't fucking eat a regular sized meal.
I did see it was Zion suspended 1 game for tardiness.
God damn it, dude. It's like you're the number 1 fucking pick and you can't be on the fucking court. You're saying you're doing this, you're saying you're doing that, you can't show up for a fucking flight. Be a leader. Grow the fuck up.
I mean, that's not going to happen. But the other situation in NBA that doesn't have to do with missing flights is someone that doesn't have any reason to be on flights because he's still suspended, and that's Jimmy Butler. And really the thing about Jimmy Butler is, from what I've been reading and just seeing and all the headlines and reports, is this situation is just getting uglier and it's going nowhere.
Yeah, like nowhere. There was one team that said that they would give money. It was the Suns.
I'm not gonna lie.
It was the Suns, but I don't think that's a...
Well, we'll talk about the Suns.
Okay.
I would say this behavior would be okay if you were an answer to a team this season. I think we've established.
I wish you just would have thought about it before, you know.
But I'm just saying, with the circumstances of this season, for how much he is making, for what it would take to get him on another team, for the bridges he's burned throughout the years. One of the biggest things is he can opt out with a player option next year and become a free agent. So Are we going to make a big move for him just for this year? That's making teams more afraid. I'm just saying, he has a history of going to every organization he went to, it ended up being bad blood.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Everyone.
Including this one. There's going to be, it ended up with bad blood. And now you got someone who
sounds like his baby mamas.
Maybe a little too expensive.
Sorry, that's not nice.
That wasn't nice. He's burnt a lot of
I don't know anything about his family. Sorry.
Neither do I.
Apologies.
A lot of bridges have been burnt. He's already saying no to certain teams. So apparently Memphis, he doesn't want to go to Memphis. He said no to Memphis, which is like, okay, why not?
Yeah,
why not? If you know you're gonna opt out and Memphis is giving you a chance to come play with them, why not ball the fuck out with Ja or something for a year? Well, I mean, why? You don't want to play with Miami. You don't want to play for Memphis. So let's be real. You want to play with Phoenix because that's where he wants to go. Phoenix wants Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler wants to go to Phoenix. I don't know if Bradley Beal wants to go to Miami, nor does Miami want Bradley Beal.
Want Bradley Beal. Exactly.
We're at the point where a couple days ago...
you're getting a less all-around player in Bradley Beal than Jimmy Butler.
I don't know if you saw or noticed, but there were reports that to lower locker room tension, Bradley Beal was going to be moved to the bench. And then
to lower locker room tension?
And more reports after that came out that this may be a way to get him to maybe remove his no trade clause.
Oh, he does have the...
That's the problem. He has a no trade clause. Bro could have been out of there. He was probably out of there last season if he didn't have that no trade clause. So I'm just saying, if he gets to a point where he wants to go to Miami, and I'm Miami, I mean, at least I got someone that's gonna play.
Yeah.
I love Jimmy, but if he's gonna continue to pull this bullshit and they're gonna
Yeah.
continue to suspend him, fuck it. Okay, Bradley Beal might not be as good. You're at least gonna have someone that's gonna play.
Yeah.
And guess what? You're gonna have somebody on your team that doesn't want to play on a team that he wants to play for.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy except y'all, I guess. But are y'all think y'all making a run with Jimmy? A disgruntled Jimmy that wants to leave?
Fuck no.
No. So you might as well just pull the trigger.
Also, a
and
Jimmy
trade.
who's gonna want some control in this fucking team. A
Yeah,
team that
then,
already has the worst power issues in the league.
And then he goes to Phoenix. Say he doesn't enjoy it, and then he's a free agent.
He ain't gonna enjoy it, dude.
Agent.
He's gonna be like, yeah, for me being so good, I got fucking relegated to the fucking wing.
And
I got relegated to the shoulder. I got stuck over there.
And the worst part about all this is, and it could be a lie because obviously Miami lied 2 weeks ago when they said that they weren't taking any, they weren't trading Jimmy.
Yeah.
They said they're willing to prolong this situation.
I know. They're petty as fuck. They're the pettiest fucking organization out here.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie.
They're gonna run this to the trade deadline.
And I'm not surprised. Well, I'm saying there's a scenario where they don't trade him.
Yes.
And say, all right, go ahead. We're gonna keep suspending you. We're opt out. Opt out. Goodbye. And exactly. I don't want that for Jimmy. I obviously would like to see him on the court somewhere because, I mean, how much – I'm not going to say he's going to burn out this season, but I'm just saying, like, how much peak Jimmy Butler can you really get out of, 35, 36-year-old Jimmy Butler? It's just I don't know how much more you can get from him.
Yeah.
And I don't really see Phoenix. I mean, that's a whole other conversation.
No, I don't see Phoenix getting better.
And if he ends up on the Suns, that's a whole other conversation of, what can they do? What's their ceiling? And maybe I need more time to think about it.
It's probably super similar.
I look at it as there's not going to be that much depth. There's not going to be that. It's going to be a problem with sharing the ball. It's going to be a problem. I mean, there's going to be problems. There's going to be problems. No matter what, I think there's going to be issues. But if you make the trade, you got two players who are going to be playing opposed to one player who's getting moved to the bench because there's tension in the locker room and one player that doesn't want to play and is getting suspended for it.
Yeah.
So I really
don't know why they would call it tension in the locker room. It's like probably just KD going up to the staff like, yeah, if you could, like, I don't know, find a way for us to win, like
I mean,
maybe let's, I don't know, build a like a solid team and not try to force three of us onto the court at the same time.
Yeah, but I mean, when it came out last year, like, KD felt like he was just
they didn't change anything.
Corner. But I'm saying, like, we know there's tension.
Like, no, of course, but it's also like, do you worry about playing time or do you try to fucking win games?
But is that not what you said, though? It's like maybe Beal coming off the bench is just a better rotation move. Like, it's just that is that. But I'm saying, but if the reason them three can't figure it out on a court together and their chemistry is off is actually because of some type of tension and how to share the basketball,
I don't think it is. I think it's just play style. The way they play ball.
You think Kevin, Petty, Durant couldn't have tension when it comes to teammates?
No, I can guarantee there's tension, but I think that the three of those dudes, one of them, if not two of them, have to change their game to make this work.
That's not going to happen. They're too petty. They're too petty.
Then why fucking have him on the team in the first place?
Because there's a no trade clause on his contract.
Why pick him up in the first place?
I don't know, because they thought it was going to do something. They thought it was going to fucking do something. The same way Golden State thought they were going to get Chris Paul and do something. It's just not. It's not.
Well, I don't want to see the fucking Nuggets all the time.
Yeah, you do. Because Russ out here still getting triple doubles. Russ out here still balling with Denver. You don't even need to have Jokic on the goddamn court. And we still gonna have a triple double god winning basketball.
I'm gonna be honest. The more I watch Jokic play, I appreciate the nonchalantness. I appreciate the vision and this like the simpleness of his game, and how stupid it makes everybody else look.
I think it's the same thing with like Luca though. It's like
Yeah,
when you really slow it down, it's like,
but I
well,
think
no, I think it's almost you have to appreciate it because it's almost like watching Kyrie in slow motion.
yes.
It's like if you really sat down and watched
If you watch
Kyrie
the
in
way that
slow
Kyrie moves the
motion,
ball, yeah,
it's the same way it's Jokic playing in full speed.
yes, that's
It's just
perfect. Yeah.
like it's almost hard to miss the
Yes,
nonchalantness.
no, he's just a walking ball of just good lessons for
Yeah, good. Just
how,
he
how,
is a
how to play
he's a
ball as a non African American.
Jokic is a walking YouTube tutorial video.
Yeah,
Walking tutorial video.
Serbian fundamentals.
That's
It's nice.
all
It's
right.
good.
The one thing I saw that was interesting to me
The
is
sign
some reports on what sign? What you talking about?
you said I saw.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
It's gross. That song fucking sucks, by the way.
That song is garbage, and I only
The
know
fact
that
that it's in
song
every
'cause
fucking like dumb ditzy movie too.
I only know that song because of Full House and fuck
Ooh,
Jeff whatever. What's his name? I forgot bro's name. Jeff Franklin. Was that bro? I
I
think
don't
that's
know.
who. I think that's who made it. So either way, that's not what's important.
That
What
was a
is
woman.
important is the status of Kliff Kingsbury.
Does she still have that cool house?
So obviously, Kliff has expressed, the desire to be a head coach again,
Yeah.
and he has interviews waiting on him. But there's been reports coming out recently that NFL teams are actually having trouble trying to gauge how bad he wants to leave, opposed to staying with Washington
Well, I think
because
that's
of the.
difficult when
What
he's
do you
in the
mean?
midst of prepping for a playoff game.
Well, I'm saying the way it was worded, the way I read it was, hey, bro, do not expect Jaden to fucking go this crazy this early, and we might only see the tip of the iceberg with him
Either.
with them as a duo. I'm saying like,
Well, I mean, for him, it's like, do you stay on a stable team as an OC with a pretty decent head coach, or do you go and try to rebuild a
go coach
fucking Bears team?
Vegas.
Go to
Yeah, go
Vegas, try to
coach
re.
the Bears. But
Also, did you not hear what was going on earlier?
with
Vegas.
no, we'll talk about that when we talk about Pierce.
Okay.
I'll write it down to remind us. But just Kliff though, I'm saying like if it was set to be here for the long run, and
Hmm.
he thought I needed 3 years to craft the Jaden Daniels we see now,
Yeah.
and he sees this development and this growth this quick, it's almost like because I saw it's like he's still getting paid $6 million from Arizona. It's like
Beautiful.
there's a world where he might be like, hey, we can do
Crazy shit in the next 3
crazier
years.
shit with
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels.
Damn.
It's like it's almost like had he gotten his hands on any of these other quarterbacks,
Yeah.
their rookie year.
Yeah. Exactly.
And yeah, I think there is a world where he might be able to he might see so much more untapped potential in
But
Jaden Daniels.
I mean, and if I was him, it's like, do you want to throw your reputation back on the line? Do you want to continue the good shit you got? Because I mean, it was like, yo, Kliff can only coach college. Kliff only knows this. Kliff can only do this. Kliff can do that. Kliff sucks with Kyler Murray. It's his fault. It's whatever. But with Jaden, I mean, I think good or bad, OCs don't take as much flack, and I think he's taking a lot of the good that comes with this. It's not. There's not a lot of like, yo, Dan Quinn, what an incredible fucking head coach. It's like, no, Kliff is running this offense very well.
Well, I think that this says a lot about his confidence in Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Now you could
Maybe in the organization as well.
Could you twist it and flip it and say, and I'm going to argue it right away. Could you twist it and say, well, maybe he thinks he still needs to show him more, whatever. It's like you could easily argue that and say, no, he balled the fuck out, won 12 games his rookie year, and is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Obviously, Kliff could be confident enough to go, you got this. I'm going to go help Caleb.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
But
like,
I think he wants to win.
but that's the thing. It's like if you're sitting here winning, it's like, look, I could keep going and bouncing around and helping these quarterbacks figure it
And
out.
but here's the thing. It's like if he takes a head coaching job somewhere else, he
Mm,
has to win. He has to do well.
yeah,
Who's this? I mean, this job isn't going to be open in 2 years. This job's going to be pretty sought after.
and he's getting
He's not going to
credit,
be able to come back to the situation.
and he's getting credit for like jump starting Jaden Daniels.
Yeah,
But he's not gonna get if Jaden Daniels has a sophomore slump, they're not gonna go fire Kliff
Kliff,
Kingsbury.
fire Kliff,
You
exactly.
know, it's
It's
so
like no,
his
we need to be better. Yeah,
him being blamed is off the table.
for now, yeah.
So I would say, yeah, I mean the fact that it went from desire to be an NFL head coach to we don't know could now sadly this could be a narrative that could change after tomorrow.
And it definitely can.
If y'all lose, this could have been a whole thing where it's like I'm saying that I'm locked in until we lose.
Well, and I think that he is locked in this team. I don't think that he is sitting here thinking about how nice it would be to be a head coach again right now. But again, I don't think that would help his career right now. At least I think if he wins as an OC, does well as an OC, um, I don't know.
I think
He
he
could
stays. I
he
think
can
he
maybe
stays.
become the head coach of this team. You know?
I think he stays, and I think he knows that it's not the offense if they lose tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think that he will be your OC next season. And speaking of OCs, you see that prank call on Caleb?
No.
Dude, somebody got this guy got Caleb Williams' number,
Yeah.
texted him, said, "Hey, this is
Yeah.
Ben Johnson,
No way.
Detroit, Detroit's OC." He was
Yeah,
like, "I just want
Detroit's
to let you
OC.
know before the news comes out that I will be taking the job." And Caleb responds and is like, really? That's crazy." He FaceTimes him. And when he pops up, bro, it's like just some kid.
Just a
And,
kid.
and
Get
Caleb's
the
like,
fuck out of
Caleb's just, he's like, he honestly handled it kind of funny. He was like, "Man, y'all have a good one." Like, all right. Like,
here.
but in the text, he was texting him like, "Man, I can't wait to get things going with you."
Yeah.
And like, he was
God, I
like,
want to get started on talking ball.
well, no, he was
immediately,
like, "I can't wait to turn this shit around. I can't like saying all this shit." And then he said, but he was like, "But in the meantime, go kill it." Like telling Detroit, like, "Yo, go win it all."
What? Get the
Oh
fuck out of
God,
here, bro.
this is why he's
Talent,
never.
talent a division rival again.
Imagine if
Go win
Tom
the Super
Brady.
Bowl.
Imagine if Tom Brady was texting fucking the Jets like, "Yo, good luck in the postseason." Like,
No, get the
there'd
fuck
never
out of
be
here.
a world. There would
Get the
never be
fuck
a
out of here.
world. That is. It was funny. It was
Oh,
funny.
I gotta see. That's horrendous.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah. I gotta show you that. So let's talk about a firing that didn't surprise me. I don't
Nope.
think it surprised you.
Nope.
It surprised certain people
Why?
that I think might lack like just knowledge,
Brain cells.
life, or
Yeah.
and just
At
I
least.
don't know, people that just like to go on TikTok and cry. That's how I like to describe it. But it's Antonio Pierce. It's
Yeah.
the firing of Antonio Pierce. Now, you did say you wanted to bring something up that had to do with Vegas, and I was interested. I'm kind of curious in what you're talking about.
Deion Sanders is showing interest in becoming the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders.
That's a whole other conversation we might have to save for Monday. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, I agree, but it's like, why did he sit here and lie?
He sat here and lied his ass off if he actually has. All right, I can't even. We will. I mean,
I've said it since the jump. Like, there is no other option for him than Jackson State to a more real college. I'm not saying a more established football program than an HBCU, and then following his sons to the NFL. Why else would he be trying so hard to get his kids drafted high into the NFL and this and that?
So if he
I
has
mean,
interest in the Raiders,
he's gonna stay. He's gonna stay his cold ass in Colorado forever. No sons. He's just gonna sit there.
so
My
he
ass.
has interest in the Raiders, which means they have interest in
Shador's going to
Shador.
the Raiders,
All right.
or Travis, but Shador's going to the Raiders. Tom Brady, please don't do this.
Well, Tom Brady
Um,
has a say, and if Tom Brady is on the Dion train, then I think a lot of other people will be.
I think
Um,
Tom's on the Dion train. To be honest, to be fair.
all right, let's talk
So,
about Antonio Pierce. Let's
yes.
talk about Antonio Pierce because God, Devin, I'm not gonna lie. I think we're at a point where if you want to have these awkward or uncomfortable conversations, you either have to ignore them, avoid the conversation at all costs,
Yeah.
or address the statements, address the comments that have been made toward, just surrounding why Antonio Pierce might have been fired or the reasoning behind him being fired.
You know what would be funny
What's up?
if the Raiders fired Antonio Pierce for being black and then hired Deion Sanders.
See, that's the thing. It's like the same report, the same people that are going to come out and say that the Raiders fired Antonio Pierce because of his race will ignore the hiring of Deion Sanders if he does end up being the head coach for the Raiders.
Well, they would ignore his race
They
because it
would
doesn't
ignore the
fucking
race.
matter.
Now, we've spent now what I'm talking about is obviously this race, the racial conversation. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Devin. I'm never gonna sit here and spend too much time having some political conversation. I know
Sometimes we
you.
have. We've done it before, but
Okay, but I'm saying like just to break the fourth wall for a second. It's like I know you. You know me. We
we're
know
beef.
we know who we are. We are not some like whatever. If people want to try to paint me as this or that, or paint you as this or that, it's like, bro, it's like I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I'm not gonna argue about I'm this, I'm that. I'm gonna put it to you like this. It's
I
like
would like them to paint me in the nude.
I can have a conversation about race and feel like it's okay because I'm not racist.
Yep.
And I don't care what color you are. And I grew up playing sports with just people that all look different, all different shades. And we were the same. We
Dude,
were,
I have a black friend.
you, but that's what I'm saying, bro. It's like,
But
you
no.
got people out here who are like, look at my black friend, look at my black friend. It's like, right.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm who I am, bro.
Yeah, no.
I cannot sit here and fake like I can't sit here and pretend like I truly think Antonio Pierce got fired for his race.
But also our thoughts, all of our thoughts on Antonio Pierce this year and everything that he said has nothing to do with the color of his skin.
But
It has
maybe
nothing to do with anything. It's the way that he acts as an NFL head coach.
but the way I'm trying to say this, it's like I'm not just trying to sit here and be like, guys, just before I say this, I'm not racist, so don't think. It's like what I'm trying to say is more. It's like I have spent my entire life never factoring race, so it's hard to have a conversation about factoring race when
Yeah.
I never do it. We
Yeah.
never do it. We
Yeah.
just don't do it.
Yeah.
And when it does get brought up and people try to bring it up, we're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you bringing this up?
This is not involved.
But we had this. The podcast had an interaction. This guy was on TikTok crying about the Antonio Pierce firing, and I just want to say this, Devin. These 40-year-old dudes on TikTok who just sit there and green screen in front of an article and cry and are just like this. This is the problem with America. See, now here's these motherfuckers need to get a job. They need to get a job. They need to get a 9 to 5. They need to do something that cures this
he looked
boredom.
like he had a job. He looked like he was like a
These people are bored, Devin. These people are bored. These people pander to these idiots on TikTok that do not think, that just don't, like if they just sat back and thought for a second how stupid it sounds to say there was a racial motive for why, there was a racist motive for why Antonio Pierce was fired. Obviously. to come online and go, it's very obvious why Antonio Pierce was fired, and not state how he lost the locker room.
It was obvious.
It's super obvious. He lost the locker room in the first month. Made comments that pretty much was the reason why Devontae was like, all right, well, I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah.
Max
Crosby lost motivation. The whole team lost motivation.
You were an interim head coach that solely was given the job because of how much that team loved you. And as soon as that team decided you are not the guy to be here, the fucking head office made the same decision. We're talking about the same guy.
This firing decision was made 14 weeks ago.
And look, there's a history with the Raiders. The Raiders got a weird history.
Yeah.
You got Mark Davis, and it's like, okay, I don't know how Mark Davis sits on. Now here's the thing though, if Mark Davis felt the same way John Gruden felt, I don't think he's letting Antonio Pierce coach his football team.
Who?
Mark Davis, the owner of the damn Raiders.
Yes.
I'm saying when John Gruden, when the email shit, right? Is there a world where someone can say, "Oh, well, he only fired him. He only let him go because he got caught. Because the shit came out." But why not in all them emails that John Gruden was sending? Where was Mark? Why wasn't he co-signing what John Gruden was saying?
Yeah, exactly.
If they're all if they're just this big racist conglomerate, you know what I'm saying?
A lot of John's emails were old.
Either way, I'm just saying, it's like, if you didn't give a fuck, you're going to let John Gruden coach that football team.
Yeah.
You're going to let him say, or did you realize, not only is there some racist ass shit being said by this man, we absolutely know that this locker room is not going to want to play for this man. Not the same reason, but the same way they did not want to play for Antonio Pierce.
Yeah.
And that just happens. There are reasons coaches get fired. Do you think Robert Saleh got fired mid-season because he's Lebanese? Did you see me crying? Okay, here we go. Let's pull the card, Devin. Did you see me crying for the Lebanese fucking culture to stand up for Robert Saleh? Or did he get fired?
That's awesome.
Or did he get fired mid-season because he was a shitty head coach?
Yep.
And he lost the damn locker room, and the team sucked.
Yep.
The team sucked. I didn't sit here and go, Devin, as someone who is I have Lebanese blood, and I feel like the reason he got fired. No. Did Matt fucking Eberfluss get fired for being some old white dude, or did he
Irish
suck?
Freak.
He sucked.
Wait till what's his name? The Notre Dame head coach hits the NFL.
Well,
they're gonna have to fire a half black, half Asian.
But I'm saying, does it fucking matter? Does it matter when we're looking at the NFL? I really truly believe that at this stage of the NFL, race is not holding you back to coach, whatever position you want to play, officiating, whatever. I think you can. I think the
quarterback,
the sky is the damn limit.
Yeah.
And if you want to say there's people that paved the way, if you want to give Mike Tomlin flowers, whatever, but then you got people like D'Amico Ryans.
Tony Dungy.
It's situation based, Devin. D'Amico Ryans has a great team behind him, and they are balling. Yes. Atlanta, the head office made that decision to get Kirk Cousins. The head office fired their defensive coordinator because they knew the defense was the biggest problem. They're going to give Raheem Morris another chance, not because he is a black head coach, because they know he has more potential and he knows he has a team that let him down.
Also, Gerard Mayo getting fired. Did you hear what happened with him?
I want to talk about that as well, but go ahead.
I heard that after like week 15 or 16, guys on the team flight back, he's in the players' cabin playing poker with the boys instead of being with his assistant coaches, like a head coach, studying film, going over things.
Okay.
And it's like, it's immature. You got a head coach who still thinks he's a player.
And I don't even want to like, and if that's the reason they fired him, okay. But also,
that was like a straw.
I'm not making any excuse for Robert Kraft or the Patriots, but like I said, it's situation based, Devin. If they want Mike Vrabel over Mayo, that's what it is.
Exactly.
Mike Vrabel
But hire him last year, you know.
Uh,
But they needed a guy to take on this shit year.
Mike Vrabel got fired on the 9th. Gerard Mayo was hired on the 17th. I'm pretty
Gerard Mayo
sure the
already had the
decision
job.
was already made.
Gerard already had the job. Yeah.
Now, if they told him right before, oh, actually, instead we're going to hire Mike Vrabel, they could have. They could have. Or maybe last year, Mike Vrabel didn't want to coach the Patriots.
Sure.
Maybe last year, they wanted to give Gerard Mayo the shot. And maybe moving forward, Gerard Mayo has on his resume NFL head coach.
Head coach, yeah.
And he's going to get phone calls. And I promise you the man is going to have a job next season. And I promise you, the reason he is going to have a job is
not a head coaching job.
Yeah, it's not going to be because of his race. It's going to be because of his talent. It's going to be because of his IQ. It's going to be because of his knowledge. It's going to be because of his skill. It's going to have absolutely nothing to do with race. Is fucking Dave Canales, is he only, so is that the thing, Carolina, they only hire Hispanic guys to coach? That's it?
Yeah, Rivera.
That's the, or do you think it's just a coincidence? That's who they fucking hired.
Yeah.
Is Mike McDaniels?
Well, they had fucking Matt Rule there for.
So only the white side of Mike McDaniels is keeping his job alive. I'm assuming, right?
Yes,
that must be what it is, right?
Not the logic black part. Yeah.
Not the fact that Tua Tagovailoa sucks fucking dick.
Yes.
He sucks. He sucks. The fact that maybe if you give Mike McDaniels a better quarterback, they might be a better team. I truly.
Well, the problem with Mike is that he has faith.
But the problem with pulling this race car bullshit exempts Antonio Pierce for being a bad head coach.
I know.
It exempts
it's plain and simple. He's a bad head coach.
We have never sat here and talked about race on this damn podcast, Devan. It's because we don't look at it. We don't factor it into our takes. We don't talk about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson in the MVP conversation and bring up fucking race because we're not idiots. We don't sit here and factor in something that you're fucking born with for how it decides on if you're an NFL head coach, if you're the MVP of the league, if you're allowed to be a quarterback, if you're allowed to do whatever. We are talking about sports. Something that politics should just fucking stay away from. And for some reason, somehow, we can't let a coach get fired for being a bad coach and can't have stupid motherfuckers on TikTok. This is why this shit needs to get banned. This is why this shit, if we really want to talk about it, you got idiots who sit on there and go,
well there's idiots.
But they're holding people back. They are holding people back. Like, are we going to really sit here and pretend like, I'm sorry, but I think even Antonio Pierce knows, and I hope he is a smart enough human being to go,
no,
I got more to work on than just the color of my fucking skin. Because that's not something you fucking have to work on, nor can you work on, Devan. It has absolutely nothing to do with why he was in the situation in the first place, and it's absolutely nothing to do with why he got fired. It makes me so mad, and it bothers me to the core that people try to attack me or you or this podcast for saying something that is true or trying to put us under some light or try to put us in some bubble of racist people.
Yeah.
I'm not playing that fucking game. And anybody that knows me or knows you, and like I said, we're not employees. We're not just here and we meet up and we don't know how each other feel in real life. We know each other. People know us. I'm not playing this game where I have to fucking, oh, guys, I'm for everyone. I wouldn't fucking sit here and indulge in all this shit if I wasn't. I'm sorry. It's just a fact. Yeah. It's just a fucking fact. I know racists who decided in 2016 that they'll never watch a football game again because one fucking person kneeled.
Yeah, exactly.
And all this shit. It's like, I don't know.
There's still people who don't buy Nike because of that situation.
But it's like,
all right, cool.
It's like, okay, bro. It's like, and that's the thing. It's like, okay.
Cool.
Like, whatever.
Good for you. Hold that little rage that you got in there about some bullshit. And yeah, no, the people who, I hope Antonio Pierce isn't stupid or shallow enough to come out and say that, but it's a joke. It's a joke because the next guy who's going to get hired for the Las Vegas Raiders is going to be black. So it doesn't mean anything.
Oh, because you're saying it's Dion.
It's Dion. But even if it wasn't Dion, it's like there's still black head coaches in the NFL and this and that. Like, now, if there is actual racism in the NFL, get rid of it. But I don't see it right now.
Get rid of it, but also it's like, what's the best example? Nick Bosa wearing a fucking MAGA hat?
Well, not signing little black kids' autographs.
Oh, did he do that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Nick Bosa's a piece of shit. Nick Bosa's a piece of shit.
You've never
Nick,
seen that video?
fuck that. Nick Bosa's a piece of shit.
No,
Then okay, okay, but I'm saying like in my head, I'm like, okay, so people don't like him for his political views. I'm saying what my point was going to be is you got one player out of all these players. It's like, okay, who the fuck?
Well,
I don't give a
I meant
fuck
more of
with
like
Nick Bosa.
like processes of hiring coaches. I know a few years ago that like hiring black individuals was a big like push for the NFL, but
I'm saying
I
like
don't know.
it should. I thought that it was becoming normalized.
And I
I
think it
thought we
is.
were at a point where, because you're right. Like there was a time where it was like
Get some in here.
a
Yeah.
bigger milestone.
Sure.
But I feel like once that wall was broken down, once that barrier, because
Yeah.
I'm talking about these barriers that people, these imaginary barriers that people on fucking TikTok are creating that have already been broken down.
Exactly.
They've been broken down, bro. They're in the door.
It's like Antonio Pierce didn't get his job because he's black, and he's not losing his job because he's black.
1,000%.
Like he got his job because Josh McDaniels sucked, and he was the next guy up, and he did well. So he get to continue to do his job, and then he did poorly, so he lost his job. Simple math.
It's just sad, and it's not one race pushing the propaganda. It's just the type of person that cannot critically think and sit down and just use fucking brain cells, Devin. Just use brain cells. It bothers me, bro. It's like I'm not that guy. So don't sit there and try to make me that guy, bro. It's like you'll never win.
Not that guy.
You're not gonna win that game. Especially it's like I said, like people want to sit here on the internet and try to call you this, call me that. They call us everything under the sun. But before the Antonio Pierce getting fired,
I might be it.
People trying to call me anything close to a racist. It's like if that's your gauge, it's me.
Yeah.
Fuck. You'll never see the world as equal. You'll never see the world as even close to united or anything. You
think we pop up on people's gaydars? We definitely pop up on their races.
I mean, after the top five hottest,
the top five
hottest all time.
Yeah,
for sure. But it's like
Rex Ryan.
But I mean,
whole fuck thing.
Either way, it's like, bro, it's the same way. It's like it's just stupid. It's like it beats dumb. It's whatever. I don't.
It's silly.
I'm over it. It is stupid. It's just when you think about it, it's just like that's the thing. When you think about it, if you just think about it, you realize how fucking stupid it sounds.
I know.
Last thing I got is college football. Penn State.
Do you know the Notre Dame head coach? Did you hear him talk after the game? At all?
No.
The guy sounds like fucking Obama. Like he does not sound like a head coach. He's doing like a. Well, I think our team played just great. I'm doing a terrible impression of it, but he's talks like a politician, and it makes zero fucking sense. Clearly he wants to be an NFL head coach, but I don't know. He just has like this weird cadence in the way he speaks, and usually like a football coach, like when they do like a halftime interview, it's like out of breath. It's like, oh, we gotta fucking stop fucking. We gotta score.
You got your coaches like that, but then you have your ones that are straight just to the point.
I know, but he has like cadence. It's weird. It's like he's giving a speech. It's cool, but it's like I don't know. It's very odd. Whatever.
They won.
They did win.
They won. They're moving on to the national championship because Penn State is absolute garbage. Then you had a better game the next night with Ohio State playing Texas. Which obviously ended up an Ohio State dub. So we have a final.
Quinn Ewers fucked it, dude.
We got a championship, Devin. So I don't know if you noticed, but only one team from the top four was in the semis, and
only one team from what?
From the top four were in the semis. So there were eight. There were 8 teams.
It was 8 versus 5, and then
Penn State
Penn State, they were 3.
Penn State would have been if it was a normal,
You're right.
if it was the old college format, playoff
You're right.
format,
Yeah.
it would have been all the losers.
Yeah.
It would have been
No,
all
for
the
real.
losers. Now we have a final, a
We should
championship of,
void every other college playoff.
which this proves that this format's better the same way that the NFL has proven that the format they use now is better than the bullshit they're trying to change to. Because now they're pushing even more. Remember we talked about the seeding instead of
Yes.
the 4 winners? If Buffalo wins, the 4
Was
division.
that them trying to push things, or was that just Amon Ra saying
No,
words?
that was NFL teams are interested in that. They're having conversations.
I
And
don't like that.
and I'm saying though, if Buffalo wins tomorrow, then all 4 won that. And if the Rams pull off their dub and the Eagles pull off their dub and either way, I'm just saying like we're not changing the formats. Need to stop getting changed. They're good right now.
But
They're good.
college is good, and I mean, I think down the road they can always make it better. But
In the
I like
NFL, you can't take away the meaning of winning a division.
No.
It's like no matter what. I don't care if the competition's sorry. It's like when it comes to just a playoff spot, sure. If you want to pull hairs and talk about MVPs and how good is a team compared to this team, we can talk about that.
We're not
But
changing.
You can't take away winning a division.
No.
All I gotta say about colleges is Ohio State's winning it all. Texas
They
definitely
did not look as nearly as good as they did against Oregon.
Texas
and
didn't look as bad.
I think it just showed that Oregon's kind of shite. But
well, yeah, Oregon shit, and Texas didn't look as bad.
Texas did not look as bad. Well, I mean,
I expected them to look better than they did against Arizona State the week before.
They looked good in the first half, and then they lost a lot. Like it was Scatabo going crazy, and it was just
okay. Yeah.
Once that got going, they were fucked. But the problem for them was definitely just burning out offensively and having nothing left. And yeah, Ewers just missing certain shots, and obviously that strip sack right at the end was
game.
just.
I mean, that was game right there.
It's like they had a pretty decent shot. But
when you look at the game, though, it's like they had that 75-yarder right before the half.
Exactly.
And then they just, I'm not going to say got lucky. And the more I think about how they won, the more I don't know if I'm fully set on them winning the national championship.
No, I know. Yeah,
but I think it's going to be interesting. I think Notre Dame, Ohio State, the playoff format change was worth it. We got a good matchup.
Yeah.
We avoided shittier matchups.
And yeah, this to me doesn't feel like fucking Georgia TCU or whatever the fuck that national championship was.
Oh my god!
Like it's not going to be 57-8. Like it's going to be competitive.
But this also exposes how poorly they rank these teams.
Yep.
It's like these teams that you rank top 4, none of them made it.
No.
And only one made it to the semis.
Well, the top 4 were the division.
Well,
conference winners.
That wasn't solely I don't believe that was solely the deciding factor. I think that had a big thing to do with it. But if you were, right. I'm saying though,
if Clemson was like,
yeah, I'm saying if
not top 4, I think.
If the top team in the ACC is 8,
yeah,
it's like, or in Big Ten is 8 wins, it's like you're fucked.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I guess, I mean, we talked a lot of shit, Devin. We talked LA losing to Houston. We talked Pittsburgh losing to Baltimore. All of Sunday's games we previewed. We got our final MVP reveal. Jimmy Butler, Kliff Kingsbury, the idiots on TikTok. Is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Go Skins.
We'll see. I mean,
no, it's still go Skins regardless, but
I'm not rooting against y'all. I happen y'all are this happens to be a matchup of 2 quarterbacks that I enjoy watching. And I've been rocking with Baker, and I mean it's Baker time. But it could also be JD time, and I won't be mad at that. I won't be mad at that.
And for me it's like obviously I want to see us win, but again, I didn't expect to be in this position. I think, knock on wood, as long as Jaden has a respectable, honestly, as long as Jaden stays healthy, I don't really care.
Yeah, I respect that. And that is the truth. All right. Well, with all that being said, we will be back on Tuesday to discuss Sunday's matchups and Monday night's matchup. I guess look at the preview some of these matchups going into next week. Talk some NBA. We got shit to talk about, Devin.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we got plenty of shit to talk about. But with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Brand new episodes every Saturday and Tuesday. We'll be back on Tuesday. It has been me. It has been Devin. It has been real. We are out.
Where's that dog?